Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Jessica. I've been still sorting through some of the footage that I took when I originally was thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and the footage was a little all over the place because I didn't really know what I was going to do with it yet. I was just kind of turning on the camera and hitting record and saying whatever came to my mind, or recording clips of me doing random things. And so I kind of had to scrub through everything and go, okay, how do I make a cohesive video out of all these different random clips, you know? And so my first video was kind of a background origin story of my business and crochet and all that kind of stuff, and then I inserted clips of a day in the life and packing some of the summer Berg box quarterly orders. And this is kind of a continuation of that. I was still doing some yapping in that original those long clips that I took, but I cut it off where I started talking about the subscription box because I thought this can be its own video. And I did take a lot more clips of working on these summer Berg box quarterlies than I showed in the first video. So that's what today's video is about. It's going to be about kind of how I got the idea to start the subscription box and what goes into planning it, and then you're going to kind of come along with me as I was in kind of the final phase of that box, getting all the items totally finished and then packing and shipping, and just that very exciting phase of like watching something that I dreamt of really come to fruition. So I hope you enjoy watching the summer Berg box quarterly being put together and packed and shipped, and looking forward to doing more of these in the future and being able to really truly show you the process from start to finish, because obviously by the time I picked up the camera, the summer boxes were already mostly done. But I'm excited to be able to take you guys through the process start to finish in the future, where it's like starting with what's going to be the theme of the box and just kind of that initial brainstorm all the way through the boxes are being sent off to the subscribers. I just think that whole process, there's a lot of creativity and trial and error, and it's just fun. So enjoy. Probably about a year ago, I started getting this idea of something that I could kind of expand into a little bit beyond just the custom tags and patches and different things on my site. And that idea was, what if I did a crochet themed subscription box? And it would be a subscription box full of stuff curated especially to crocheters. Because that was another gap that I saw on the internet. In the world of subscription boxes, it seemed like the ones that I was coming across were either strictly yarn, which is beautiful and lovely, maybe yarn and hooks, or they were subscription boxes that were catered toward knitters. I didn't see a lot of subscription boxes that were catered toward crochet with a lot of like variety as far as the items that are in the box. And I was like, this would be really fun. I think I could do this, and I think I could put together a really beautiful box. I started kind of toying around with it and workshopping it, and I landed on, okay, I'm gonna do a quarterly subscription box, so 4 times a year, and then that way I can do one for each season. So a spring, a summer, a fall, a winter subscription box. And each box would have a variety of items, and I kind of landed on these different categories. So one of the categories I don't make at all. It's my friend Lisa from Mitten Fiber Arts, and she does hand-dyed yarn. She's an indie dyer, and she does a fabulous job. She happens to, it's so funny, we met on TikTok from 2 different businesses. I have a hot cocoa bomb business I do around Christmas time, and she used to do sugar cookies, like the fancy decorated sugar cookies. We met on TikTok in a live, I think, where I was doing hot cocoa bombs. She came in and she's like, oh, I do cookies. We realized that we live like a city apart from each other, so we're actually local. And then apart from that, we both realized that we also are both crocheters. And then eventually, you know, I got into doing this, and then she got into doing, like, got away from the cookies and started dyeing yarn. So it's just so funny, like, how we're connected. I reached out to her to see if she would ever be interested in doing yarn for the box, and she was like, yeah, I'll do yarn for like all the boxes. And I was like, sick, let's go. So all of the boxes have hand-dyed yarn included from Mitten Fiber Arts, and the yarn is dyed specifically to match the theme of the box and the season. We also decided that every box would have some kind of crochet tool, something you can use in the process of crocheting. Every box will have a set of folded tags, folded faux leather tags, because that's the main thing that I do. The box will have some kind of pattern or kit, so a pattern and like the supplies that you need to make that kit, to make that project, whatever it is. And a crochet themed gift, so just something that's crochet themed, that's a cute little gift in there. And then like little fun freebies and extras like stickers and candy and stuff like that. I was hoping to just have 20 subscribers for the spring one, which was my very first box that launched at the beginning of this year. We ended up getting almost to 80 subscribers within the window of the spring subscription box. I was absolutely blown away at the response, because I'd never done anything quite like this before. And people being excited about something and then actually purchasing it are two different things. And so even though there was, you know, some good excitement and buzz, I didn't know if that would actually translate to subscriptions, but it totally did. It's been such an exciting, wild journey. The first box, the spring box, was very chaotic because I didn't want to make a bunch of product and then have it flop when it launched, and then I'm stuck with all this stuff. So I was kind of waiting to see what happened before I started really cranking out all the items. And then like overnight I got way more subscriptions than I thought. And so I was working like crazy around the clock to try and get these subscription boxes out as soon as I could. And the summer box that we're getting ready to ship them this next week, has been much more manageable because I already knew, okay, I had this many people subscribe for the spring. Obviously there's gonna be some new subscriptions, there's gonna be some people that cancel, but I have a much better idea, a baseline of where to start with. So since I was hovering at like around 80 at the end of the spring box, I decided I'm gonna make 100 boxes. That way I've got some extras for, you know, people who subscribe after the fact and everything. And I've been able to kind of like pace things out a lot better. And so we're getting ready to ship out 100, well, not 100 of these boxes, about 80 right now. And then there's a kind of window of time where people can subscribe and still get the summer box. And so my personal goal for this season will be to get to 100 subscriptions before the summer window is over. I've been kind of, I don't even know if I would call it procrastinating, but I have been putting off doing a lot of marketing on the summer box because I've just been really preoccupied with getting the boxes ready to go. Like, I feel like my first priority is to make sure that the people who are already subscribed get their boxes on time and get really high quality items that, you know, there's a lot of attention to detail and all that good stuff. So my first priority is getting these boxes done. But once I get the first wave of boxes out, the people who are already subscribed, I will then be turning almost my full attention to the marketing side. And I think I'm gonna do my first ever like paid promotional post on Facebook. I wanna make an actual video, like advertisement, and then pay Facebook to promote it out, because that's how much I love this subscription box, and I believe that people will love it, and I want it to get in front of as many crocheters' eyeballs as possible, that I'm actually willing to like pay Facebook money, which is wild because I've never ever considered like spending money on advertising. I've always just relied on organic reach on my social media pages, but that doesn't always go as far as you need it to go, you know, because you're really dependent on the fickle whims of the algorithm. A big part of the bump in subscriptions was because of sending boxes to various YouTubers. And since I have some extra boxes that I will have right now, I am going to send at least one. I want to send one to Kelsey, to Passionate Kelsey. I know she does like a mail opening day. There's no guarantee that she will share it for everyone to see. But for me, I think it is a risk that I think it's a good risk to take, to send her one of my boxes, because genuinely, after watching all of her vlogs, almost every single one, I really genuinely believe that she would really like all the items in my box. And I hope that she would like it enough that she would want to share it with her subscribers. There's a lot of other crocheters on YouTube too. And so I haven't really decided who else I would want to send a box to. I think that's gonna be an important part of my marketing strategy for my subscription box too, because I really do think that's an effective way to market and advertise. Every box obviously goes with the season, right? The spring, summer, fall. But within the season, I've been choosing a specific theme within the season. So for example, my very first box, the spring box, the theme was spring meadow, like wildflower meadow. So there were lots of wildflowers. There was lavender themed stuff. There was, it was just like kind of, you know, soft spring wildflower meadow vibes. For summer, I am currently doing a theme called Lemonade on the Front Porch. So it's like front porch, sipping lemonade, crochet, you got a good book, that's the vibes. This will all already be out by the time I show you guys this, so I can show you. This is the tissue paper that I'm wrapping everything in. The hand-dyed yarn, you wanna see it? Oh, I can't even deal. It's so beautiful. So here's the little label. That's her label. And then look. So the whole idea for this yarn was that it would be like a lemonade yellow, and then I wanted there to be little flecks of like orange and pink to give like a speckled lemonade kind of vibe. It's so pretty and it's so soft and it's so lovely. Absolutely love the yarn. What else? Here's what the yarn looks like when it's wrapped up. My lighting is not great right now, so I apologize for the like shadowy situation we have going on. What else? This is so exciting. The crochet tool for this box, I finished all 100 of them today and I felt very, very accomplished. This is a yarn cutter pendant necklace. I made 100 of these. I purchased the beads. I literally strung every single bead by hand on all 100 of them. It took me weeks to do all of these. And I'm so proud of them and I love them so much. So there's little like lemon slices, pinks and yellows, because I want like a pink lemonade vibe, okay? And then if you haven't seen, this is a yarn cutter pendant. And it's got a little circular blade kind of sandwiched between these two layers of like bronzy metal, and you can see there's the little ridges all along the circle. And these are great because they're totally safe. There's no exposed blade, so you can't accidentally cut yourself. And they're also great because if you're traveling and you're going through an area of security where they won't let you take an exposed blade like scissors or something like that, you can use this because there's no exposed blade. And basically you just you pull your yarn across there, and I have tested it with all thicknesses. This looks like it would be way too small for like a thick velvet yarn, plush yarn, but I have tried it with every size, from thin, sport weight, all the way up to very, very bulky, and it works. It works with all of them. It's like magic. So it's a stretchy, elastic necklace. And you can wear it like a necklace. It's super cute as a necklace. Like, it's just cute in general. And then when you're crocheting and you need to cut your yarn, you don't have to reach for scissors. It's literally around your neck. You cut your yarn and then you keep working. So this is, I made an extra one. So this is my personal one that I'm keeping. But all the rest of them are packaged up. Here they are in their cute little package. Everything is packaged up nice and neat and professionally. Like I said, I always throw in a cute little freebie. So I got these little pink lemonade chews and then like lemon drop candies. So there's just like a little baggie of candies. But you guys, are you getting the vibe? The tags in this one, very excited about these tags. They are my peekaboo faux leather tags. This is a concept that I've wanted to try for a really long time, and I hadn't done it yet because I just hadn't found the right situation, but I decided to pull the trigger with this box. And so my subscribers to the box are the first people to get access to this kind of new type of tag that I'd never made before. But they are peekaboo tags, and what that means is instead of just engraving an image on the leather, I cut the image out. So like, I actually have this one sitting here from my summer collection. This is just an engraved tag that has an image on it, right? But these ones, I had some extras that aren't packaged up. Let me find them. So here, this one says hello sunshine, and it's got like a little sun, but you see how it's cut out. And the whole idea is that whatever your pretty project is, you snap that on, and then the yarn and your stitches, you can peekaboo, you can see it through the tag. Ah, I love it. Do you guys love that? I love that so much. So they all fit the whole Front Porch Lemonade summer theme. So there's some with little hearts, there's some with the sun ones that say hello sunshine, there's ones with the little image of like a lemon and it says life is short, make it sweet, and then there's a set of like a little lemon slice and it's like the little seeds are cut out. Come on now, come on now, that's so freaking cute. And then the last item, I don't have a finished one to show you, unfortunately, but I can kind of show you the concept. Oh, here's a semi-finished one. I'm making bookmarks, little wooden engraved bookmarks that are crochet themed, because the whole front porch, like reading a book on the front porch, that's the vibe, right? So this one says, a woman cannot survive. What does it say? A woman cannot survive on books alone. She also needs yarn, a lot of yarn. And it's got just like cute little yarn skeins. I do have little pink tassels to kind of go with the whole pink lemonade color scheme. This one just doesn't have a tassel on it yet, but imagine a little soft pink tassel on there, and that's gonna be the crochet gift. And then last but not least, we also have our crochet kit, and this comes with a pattern and all of the supplies that you need to make it. And for this season's kit, it is a crochet coasters with a coaster basket kit. So it makes a set of 4 coasters and then a little basket that you can put them in. So the basket has a wood base, and it says porch therapy session in progress, grab a drink, sit and relax. And as you can see, it's got the little holes all the way around, and so per the pattern you actually crochet into these holes, And then this is the base of the basket, and then it crochets up and you've got your little basket. And then for the coasters, there are round faux leather patches. Let me grab a set so I can show you. I've got them all bagged up. I haven't put together the kits yet in their packages. All 4 of these little coaster patches are the same design, but they kind of go along with the basket bottom. So these say, the drinks are cold and the friendship is free. So these kind of same situation, you crochet into the holes and then it makes your coasters. And I believe I have a set of finished ones in my closet. Yeah. So I made a little test set and I wrote the pattern. I'm not a pattern designer, nor will I ever be. As in, like, that's what I do to make a living. But I have written a couple patterns. The first one is for the spring box. The second pattern I wrote is this one right here. So these are what the little coasters look like. I did this in like an ombre yarn. So these two were mostly yellow, but then this one, the pink started to come in, and then this one is pretty much all pink. And then the basket bottom has the pink and the orange. So it really does, even though it's not the hand-dyed yarn, because I don't think there'd be enough of this, and this is also not really this is too light of a weight for this project. It still has a similar vibe, but here's what it looks like when it's all done. It's got like a little picot stitch around the top, and this is actually like a little basket weave type stitch, which this variegated yarn, you kind of don't necessarily get all of that because of the variegatedness of it, but super cute. And then all of your coasters fit, I mean, they fit perfectly in the basket. And then the whole idea is that you can set this little basket on your front porch, and when you, or if you have some friends come over, everybody's got a little coaster for their drinks. It's so cute. Answer the phone. Answer the phone. Hello? Hello? Hello?
I'm entering home, or I'd rather do Ace real quick for you.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I can if you want me to still.
Yeah, I would like you to still, if you can.
Too bad, LOL.
Oh no, you tricked me.
I tricked you. Come on, do you drive a little bit faster, please? It'd be really cool so I can get across things fine.
I wish this sponge said what grit it was so that I knew what grit to tell you.
Thanks, Julian.
I just need something that is not gonna tear up the wood and tear up the engraving, but will still get the overburn off.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
It's definitely not the super fine grit.
Right. You're like 60 grit?
Yeah. Give me a 40 grit.
Give me 23 grit.
23 and me grit.
That's right.
Like maybe a 180, 120, 140, 160?
800?
I feel like getting into the 200s is gonna be too fine. Don't you think?
Oh, maybe.
Do you know the long angled blue sponge that I'm talking about? That I've been using? Do you kind of know approximately what the grit for that is?
Sure don't.
It might be a 220, honestly.
I'll get 2 of them.
Just maybe get a couple. We'll use them. Do they sell a variety pack?
I'll get a pack of like 40.
That ended up being a very long phone conversation. And now he's coming home with Subway. I get the meatball sub. Michael's home. We had Subway. It was delicious. And he brought me some new sanding sponges. I don't know which one. I had him grab 2 different finishes, or 2 different grits. This is the one I've been using. And first of all, it's overkill. I don't need it to be this big, but it's like the only one in the house. And the grit is like almost completely worn off. So it really was not doing an effective job. This one is probably more along the lines of what this one used to be, but because it's brand new, I think this one is gonna be better. Because the thing is, I need the sanding sponges for the bookmarks that I showed you guys earlier. This is one that's been sanded. This is one that has not yet been sanded. You can obviously tell the difference. This one has what we like to call in the laser biz overburn. That extra coloration is from the overburn of the laser. The heat kicks off some extra burn, and we don't want that. We want to sand that off. And I'm gonna try, see, you can't use anything with too much of a grit because all these little tiny bits in here, you know, like the O and these little spots, if you go in with too coarse of a grit, it will just tear it right off and it messes up the image. So we're going in with a real light hand right now. That looks pretty good. I'm sure I'll kind of figure my sweet spot here. I need to go through and make a pile of finished ones. And then once that's done, we'll add the tassels and then we'll package them up. Well, first of all, I need to clean up all this stuff. I got out all this stuff to show you guys. Everything in the summer kit and stuff that was in the spring kit and the coaster basket stuff. And now I have stuff all over my desk. And one thing you guys will learn about me through these vlogs is that I never thought I was a type A personality. I was never a neat freak. I was never someone who was super organized, ever, growing up. I was disorganized, I was messy, I was not detail oriented, and then I don't know what happened, but when I became an adult and owned my own home and especially started my own business and started working from home exclusively, we got this place whipped into shape, okay? And I have realized, I've learned about myself that I cannot function in chaos. If my space is cluttered, my mind is cluttered. I wanna work on this stuff right now, and this is the only stuff that needs to be out. Everything else needs to go. I'm gonna continue watching Kelsey, and also, this is the other thing that I've been doing while I'm working today. I have been obsessed with Supermarket Simulator, you guys. It's on the menu right now. Oh, we're ready to start a new day. This is Berg Mart. We really lean in heavy to the Berg theme here, you guys. And I'll show you guys. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'll show you guys my little supermarket. You like stock the shelves. I'm trying to turn the lights on. This is really hard to do with one hand. You stock the shelves and you hire cashiers and restockers and you expand your store and everything. So this is what my store looks like. We're ready to open for the day. And the restockers, it like takes a while because I'm at the level where I have so much inventory that it takes a while for them to be able to restock the store. So it's a perfect game for me to play while I'm working because I can run a day of the store being open and have, you know, a few minutes of playtime of like just having fun with that. And then I get it set to where they're restocking and it's like 20, 25 minutes real time that it takes them to unload all the boxes. So I'll just let that run while I'm watching my vlogs and while I'm working on stuff. And then when they're done, I run the next day and so on and so forth. So I'll show you. Okay, we're open for the day. So you can see all my cashiers. Janitor's already working hard, cleaning up a spill on aisle 2. There goes the second janitor. And here's I'm assuming who is gonna be my first customer of the day. Here he comes. Yeah, boy, let's go. There he goes, he's getting food. This game is so simple and yet addictive. Oh yeah, they're just pouring in now. Let's go. Look at them. They're coming from far and wide to shop at Berg because they know. They know it's the superior choice for their shopping needs. That's normally my checkout lane. But right now I have somebody working for me, so I literally just let the thing run and I make my monies. Thank you for shopping at Berg. Anyway, this is how I've been occupying myself. Kelsey's vlogs and Supermarket Simulator. Okay, back to cleaning this desk. Also, I promise I'm gonna stop talking about Supermarket Simulator, but I just need you guys to see when you order a bunch of boxes of groceries, this is how they get delivered. They technically come stacked, but like when you stack them so high, they fall over and they make a crazy huge mess. So my restockers are hard at work turning the mountain of boxes into an organized store. But look, they just walk right through it, so it's fine. They're not fazed by it at all. Hi, I actually have a little bit of a tripod today so that I'm not leaning way forward on the desk. It is launch week of Summer Berg Box Quarterly, and actually today is launch day. I've been having little cha-chings go off on my phone throughout the day, and it's everybody's orders resubscribing, which is really exciting. It makes me really happy, low-key, that the cha-chings come through. It's just like, yes, it's real, it's happening. But anyway, while I am kind of putting the finishing touches on the boxes and getting ready to have things start shipping, I thought I would take some time and work on the ball of yarn from the summer subscription box that is my own personal one to keep. Also, I painted my nails yellow for the Front Porch Lemonade theme. But anyway, I was having a hard time deciding what I wanted to make with this yarn. It's a DK weight merino wool, and I was having a hard time, and I decided to make a bandana. And actually, I didn't even really plan it, but this shirt goes perfectly with this yarn because it's got the yellow and it's got the flecks of pink and stuff. So once I finish this, I am going to wear it. I just washed my hair and braided it and everything. So here's what we have so far. You guys, look at the texture. This is a picot stitch bandana. I have the tutorial pulled up here. It's by Turtle Trunk, The Turtle Trunk. And I'm working off of her free pattern on her blog. It's a 4-row repeat. And let's see, I just finished the single crochet row. So now I will be doing the half double crochet row. So it's a pretty standard bandana pattern in that you do the triangle shape and you increase at the, base at each side of the triangle, and then you do your little chain space at the top. And I was having a little trouble with counting. For a minute there, I got quite a few rows in, and I ended up frogging it all the way back to the beginning because I was cruising. I was a little too overly confident, and I was messing up my increases at the top of the triangle with the chain space. I don't know, I was working into something wrong, and I ended up with one side having more stitches than the other, and I was trying to kind of just rip back a little bit and fix it, and then eventually I just got so confused with the numbers. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start over, and I'm gonna be more careful. And this this second attempt has turned out much better so far, much more even. The pattern originally is a weight 4 yarn and a 5mm hook, but she did mention, and I had thought of this already as well, that you can use DK with a smaller hook. You just will need to basically do more rows. And that's the nice thing about a bandana, is that it just keeps expanding. It just keeps increasing and building in size. And so if you want it to be smaller, you can stop sooner. If you want it to be bigger, you just keep, you know, adding rows until you're happy with the size. And so that's what I'm gonna do, and it's just a 4-row repeat. So I'm just gonna continue to do the repeat until I'm happy with the size. And as you can see, we've still got a ways to go before we're gonna be there. But I have been so busy with getting the elements of the subscription boxes together that I really haven't had much time to crochet. And so this is really nice to just take a few minutes and work on a project. And it's obviously, you know, relevant because I want to make a video. This is a tricky thing about the subscription boxes. You don't want to show things too soon because you don't want to spoil the items in the box, but you want it to be timely and relevant as well. So I'm trying to kind of record ahead of time a video that I can show, like, I was kind of thinking of doing a video where it's like, here's like 5 ideas of projects you can make with the yarn that comes in the subscription box. And this will obviously be one of them. Oop, that's my timer for my white cheddar mac and cheese. I'll be right back. Lunch acquired. I discovered this protein white cheddar mac and cheese the other day. I had Michael get a box for me to try, and it is so fire. And I had him pick up a couple more boxes because it's very reminiscent if you've ever had the Panera Bread mac and cheese. It tastes a lot like the Panera Bread mac and cheese, but it has extra protein, which is always great. And it's the brand Goodles, or Goodles, I don't know how you pronounce it. I would assume Goodles because it rhymes with noodles. But it's their white cheddar mac and cheese, and it's a little more pricey, certainly more pricey than like just a cheap, you know, box of mac and cheese, but in my opinion, it's absolutely worth it. What a dream this yarn is to work with. I am reminded because the last time I had hand-dyed yarn from Lisa was the spring box. And the spring box was obviously a few months ago. So to be able to work with this yarn again, gosh, it's just so soft and like silky. It glides on the hook, and I just love it. I just love it. Okay, I enjoyed my lunch with Michael, and I'm back to working on the bandana. I've made some progress of a few more rows, but I still have a ways to go. Yeah, we still got a ways to go. So the way that Shopify works with subscriptions, which I wasn't sure how this was gonna work until today. I was pretty sure it was gonna work this way, but I have it set so that all of the subscriptions are renewing on the same day, so that all the boxes will go out at the same time. But when the subscription actually charges and registers as a new order is whatever time of day that person originally subscribed. So I've been sitting here, I just got a few chings a little bit ago, but some of those are from when people had subscribed after the launch day, and just whatever time of day they subscribed, once again, is like when it renews. So I've already had like 26 of them come through, which is crazy, starting at like 2 a.m. and then they've just kind of been sprinkled throughout the morning. But when I did first go live is when, you know, the good first like bulk of my orders came in. So sometimes the Shopify, like sometimes the cha-ching is a little delayed, and it's also been sending them in groups. So instead of like one at a time every once in a while, I'll get like 1 or 2 cha-chings, and it'll be for like a group of 5 orders. But this last one, it did all 4 right in a row. It went cha-ching, 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 and I was like, oh, it's so satisfying. So I'm literally just gonna sit here and record while I crochet and wait for some of the cha-chings. Also, if you can hear a very soft cha-ching in the background, it's not Shopify. I'm playing Supermarket Simulator again, and it's just it's running in the background. So so I am just gonna hang out and work on this bandana for a few minutes. I really should have looked it up. I still could technically if I wanted to see what time I went live and when I should expect to hear some more orders rolling in, but we'll just sit in suspense. It's fine. Also, the amount of self-doubt that can creep in if I let it, of me going, oh, I bet everybody canceled their subscriptions. I could go look at that too, but I've been avoiding looking because I don't want to know how many people have canceled. There's already a few people that have, and like, you expect that, right? Like, there's gonna be people that just, you know, for financial reasons or whatever, that they need to cancel or decide to cancel, and obviously that's fine. You have to have a thick skin to be in business, but I don't have a thick skin. I'm working on it. And so that little like 4 orders in a row was helpful to me to be like, okay, Jessica, it's all right. Not everyone canceled. Of course, there's gonna be some people who cancel their subscription, but there's also gonna be new people who subscribe, and that is fine. Just missed a couple of cha-chings. Dang it. Again. Okay, that's weird. Oh, they're coming in on the hour every hour. I just realized that when I opened up and actually started looking at my orders. So the first one I had came in at 2:02 a.m. The next one came in at 6:02 a.m. And then I had the next one at 7:02 a.m. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4 come in at 8:02 a.m. 3 come in at 9:02 a.m. 1, 2, 3 come in at 10:02 a.m. 1, 2 come in at 11:02. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 come in at 12:02 and 03. And then I just had 4 come in at 1:02 and 2 come in at 2:02, which is just now. So I guess if I want to catch the cha-chings, I need to have my phone on at 3:02. Because undoubtedly there will be more. Okay. Interesting. We're figuring it out now. Back to editing the podcast. I forgot to mention this earlier. I was sitting here crocheting, waiting for the cha-chings, and I literally had this moment. So I edit our podcast myself. This episode I was supposed to edit yesterday, and then it uploads, today's Tuesday, and they upload every other Tuesday. And I completely forgot to edit yesterday. So normally I have them scheduled to go up at like 4:30 in the morning on Tuesday, so it is there in the mornings. But it'll still go up today, but it definitely did not go up at 4:30. It's currently 2 in the afternoon. So we're not gonna miss an upload day. It's just not gonna be first thing in the morning like I like it to be. I genuinely forgot and did not think of it until like just now when I was sitting here crocheting, and I went, shoot, there's supposed to be an episode already live and it is not. So I'm gonna get back to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trying to determine the length on this. I'm gonna have to watch this clip back. I don't think it's long enough. I think I need to do another set of 4 at least. The pattern here says that the length for a medium is 17 inches. And I was gonna make a large. A large, it says 20, but that seems really long. That's this long. Oh yeah, that's way too big. 17 would be a medium. That would be more along the lines of what I'm going for, is a medium. But even that, like I'm at like 14 inches right now. I think I'm gonna do another full 4-row repeat. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we're about to get some cha-chings. I'm just gonna keep crocheting. I'm working on the edge of this bandana now. It's so cute. Yay! Those are our new subscriptions for the hour. Which means we're up to 28 so far today. I did just finish the editing the episode of the podcast. It's currently exporting. So as soon as it's finished exporting, I'm gonna just make sure that everything looks good on the file, and then we'll get it uploaded on Spotify and get it published. I'm glad I figured out that the cha-chings were coming through once an hour, because those moments in between the hours, I was like starting to get a little nervous. Like, oh my gosh, why am I not hearing orders coming in more frequently? Like, did a billion people cancel? And I was getting really nervous. But now that I like understand how it works, it's like, okay, it makes sense, because it just saves them all up for the next hour basically. This is how much I have left currently, so we're pretty well using up the yarn. We're gonna use definitely the majority of it. Okay, we're not gonna tie off the yarn, we're gonna move on to the ties. But here's what we're looking like. Oh my gosh. I adore how this yarn has worked up. And this is gonna be so cute, especially with my little braids. Okay. I'll just wear it like this for a minute. Okay, I am working on, as you can see, I did the first little strap on this side, and I'm working across the length of the bandana now. She uses a like reverse single crochet edge on this, and she said you could just do regular single crochet, but I decided to get the full experience. Okay, I finished the bandana. I'm weaving in ends right now. I had this much yarn left over, so I'd say we did pretty good in using up all the yarn but not losing yarn chicken. This is finished. I just need to snip this end here. Now the question is, can I, well, first let's get a good look at it up close. This is beautiful. I love the texture of the stitches and the little kind of scallopy edge. I hope I made these ties long enough. I actually chained way more than she suggested, and I still feel like they're shorter than I would normally do for a bandana tie, but you know what? It's all right. Okay, so we're gonna go behind the ears, behind the bangs. What if I tied it in front of my and under the braids? That's why I love wearing a bandana when I have braids, because I feel like the braids kind of lock it in place, you know? It keeps the ties from slipping off of my head. My concentration face. I always hate, if somebody knows how you avoid getting your hair, ouch, caught up when you're doing things like this. I have not found a way to tie a bandana without pinching my hair and getting it stuck and caught in the tie. Nice little 360 presented by my office chair. Michael,
What?
come look at my bandana that I just finished.
What?
I just finished making a bandana out of the subscription box yarn.
What? Oh, nice.
Isn't that
Nice.
cute?
You're cute.
Thanks.
You're definitely gonna get into more if you get into it.
I've got a little helper here, currently working on getting all of the bookmarks in bags. And she popped back down, but she's, this office chair, it's the viral TikTok office chair that's extra wide, and there's enough space for her to sit on the chair next to me when she so desires. And she doesn't jump up here all the time, but every once in a while she gets the hankering. And a few minutes ago, she jumped up here. You watch when I grab the bag out, that's when she's gonna look up here again. Because she loves plastic bags. See that little eyeball? She's part of the quality assurance. What do you think, Dunk? Is it ready to go in the box? It has passed inspection. And then she's very interested in the bag that I'm throwing them all in. She hasn't tried to get in there or anything, but she's watching over the process carefully. She's such a little chunk. Every time I crack the bag open, she's like, "Now what you got going on up there?" Almost done, and we are also coming up on another round of cha-chings in a few minutes. We're past 40 now, 40 subscriptions, or 40 orders that have come in today. Let's see where we're sitting. It was 40 something, 42 maybe? 43. So we're at 43 orders right now. I still haven't looked to see how many people have canceled their subscriptions because I don't want to know. I'm scared. Which is stupid. But whatever. I was using bags that have the little self-seal where you pull the tab and then it sticks. But the stupid little plastic that you pull off to reveal the sticky part has the worst static electricity of any item I've ever dealt with. And it is the most infuriating thing because they just stick to everything and they're like impossible to throw away. So I got fed up with them and I ordered these, which are just the little, you know, like Ziploc style, and they fit the bookmarks perfectly. And they're so much less annoying to deal with. It's 6:02, which means it should be cha-ching time any second. And now I have 2 tassels left. Just one? Only one? That makes me a little sad. I also have had a couple subscriptions come in that are new. So even though I've had 43 come in today, I actually have more like 45 or 46. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 extra. So I actually have 47 and a few more, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6 more hours worth of cha-chings. So we'll see. I'm still feeling a little nervous. I don't know. This is only my second subscription box. I don't need it to be a huge dramatic thing. I'm still very much in the baby infant stages of this subscription box. So it's okay. First of all, I have a little bean sitting with me again. Secondly, just by way of update, I was getting really stressed out about the subscription box. It is getting to be the evening and I just was really stressing about the number of subscriptions. I was really stressing about it, and as I had told you guys a couple times, I was avoiding looking at my website to see how many people had canceled, which is so stupid. Like, why am I scared to look at that, you know? And I got to the point where I realized that it was more stressful to not look than to just look. Like, why am I torturing myself, you know? So I finally opened it up and it's really not that bad. I knew I probably, last time I looked, I had about 80 subscriptions, and I had already at that point had a couple people cancel and a couple new people subscribe. So I knew I was somewhere around 80. And of course in my brain, I'm like, oh my gosh, like 30 people canceled, 7 people canceled. I've had 7 cancellations and 1 person that paused the subscription, which puts me at an active, total active subscription count of 76. So we're basically still right at 80. I did have one person reach out to me and say that they need to cancel theirs. Like after they got charged for this box, they realized that it was an auto subscription and they needed to cancel because they said they love the box, but just financially they can't do it. And I totally understand that. I'm hoping, like I tried to make it as clear as possible when you subscribed that it is an auto renewal subscription. Here's the dates that it's going to charge and ship. But of course, like, you know, you can put everything as clear as you can and there's still going to be room for missing that. So I anticipate, you know, there might be a couple more people that will reach out. Hopefully nobody is upset. I tried to make it as clear as I could. I have been procrastinating on the last part of this endeavor, which is making sure that I have a written pattern for the kit. And I have worked on it. I worked on it way back when I first came up with it, but it has not been formatted into a nice looking written pattern. And then I need to create a QR code for that digital pattern and print thermal stickers that are going to go on the package itself so that people can scan the code, pull up the pattern, and then print it if they so desire. And I've been putting that off because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the formatting of it. And I don't know why this one item in the box is just stressing me out, but like, we're here, you know, the boxes are shipping very, very soon, and I need to, this is the very last part of the process. I need to go through this pattern because it's been a couple months and basically follow the pattern, make sure that it works up the way that it's supposed to, check for any errors or anything, and then make it look pretty. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna force myself to do it. I don't know why this has been such a mental block for me, this specific part of this box, but you know what? At least the next box, but maybe the next couple of boxes, I am going to have somebody else contribute a pattern. I don't normally plan on writing the patterns. It just kind of worked out for the first two that I had an idea in my head, and I decided to just kind of try and do it myself. And it worked out. But also, pattern writing, it's just not something that I really enjoy. I enjoyed doing these too, but it's like the detail parts of it where I'm like, this is annoying. So I have to do the annoying part now. And I'm gonna stop stressing about the numbers. I'm gonna stop stressing about the numbers. And I'm just gonna do what I can do. That's all. I am now packaging up the final element of the summer Berg box, which is the crochet kit and pattern. And last night I was doing the part that I had procrastinated, which was getting the pattern finished off and ready, and I did do that. And then I created a QR code that when you scan it will take you to that pattern that you can either use digitally or you can print it from there if you'd like. Gosh, this lighting is awful, it's so dark. And then I created a little sticker to print and add on the package so that people can scan that QR code and have it take them to the pattern. And then it's got the wood base that you crochet onto to make the basket and the round patches that you crochet onto to make the coasters. So I'm currently going through and giving a once over to the wood bases because some of them have some overburn that needs to be sanded off. And then these are getting packaged. So one of the bases, one of the little packs of the patches, which I have them already in little bags. And then we're sealing them up and adding a sticker, a QR code sticker. And there we go. Putting them all into a bag. And then every element of the box, once I finish these, will be ready. And I've just got different bags and boxes so that when we go to assemble the subscription boxes, we can just basically pull one from each container and put them all together. Apologies for the noise the laser is making. Last couple bits of things that I was short on for the box. I am working on getting the actual boxes. We're gonna start actually putting them together pretty soon. I had to go to the garage to get the box of boxes that was in a large box. Literally, they delivered these huge boxes when I ordered these in bulk, and inside each huge box was 6 of these boxes, and inside each of these boxes is 26 of the actual subscription boxes. So we have them stored in the garage because they're huge, and they take up a lot of space. And I think I ordered like 500 boxes or something like that. So it was several of those huge boxes, and I need to do basically 4 of these because there's 26 in each box, and I'm getting 100 of them prepared. And so what I'm doing right now is I am going through and just putting the thermal printer labels on them that say Berg Box Quarterly, and then they have the season. So the last ones I did said spring, obviously these ones say summer. And I also did receive my order of prints from Snapfish. last season I printed my own little welcome prints, and these go on the inside of the box. I have one already folded together that I'll show you. This is what the boxes look like when they're all folded and put together. And on the inside of them, I just realized I put this on backwards. It opens up this way. It's supposed to be the other way. Whoops. On the inside, I adhere a little welcome print that just kind of has an overview of like, here's what's in the box. Here's the theme of the box. And so these are the prints. Like I said, last season I printed them on my own and I cut them on my paper slicer. It was not the vibe. It was a ton of work, obviously. It used a lot of ink on my printer, and I really overall, like, I don't have a professional printer, so I really wasn't happy with, they just didn't look as professional as I wanted them to. And I found an amazing deal on Snapfish. They were doing a deal where you could get 100 prints for $1. And I got them in matte, so they have a little bit of gloss to them, but they're nice and matte. So this will get stuck right on the inside here, so that when you open up the box, you get a little welcome message, and it has the theme of the box, like I said, and it says, this season's Berg box is curated to invoke a lazy summer afternoon on the front porch, sipping lemonade, reading a book, and crocheting. Included in this box you'll find, and then it's got the list of everything that should be included in the box. It also, and then it says, unwrap, enjoy, and tag me, and it has my socials on there. And then I also included a QR code that says, find more crochet goodies on my website, bergsnestcrochet.com, and then it has a little QR code that you can scan. And then it also has my email. It says, questions, reach out, bergsnestcrochet@gmail.com. I made a couple updates to my welcome print from the last one because I realized that when I sent off a box to my friend Annie from her YouTube channel and I got a lot of subscribers, those people don't necessarily know me, you know, like they were subscribing because Annie showed the box, and they don't necessarily know where to find me if they have questions, or maybe they want to order something else because they like what they got in the box. And so I made sure this time to include my socials, to include a link to my website, and also to include my email if they have any questions. And I thought it was important to put what is in the box, because last time there were some questions about, somebody thought that there was maybe, they wanted to make sure that nothing was missing because of the way that it got a little damaged in transit. So this way they know exactly what's supposed to be in the box, and they have a couple different methods to reach out to me if they don't know where to find me and they need to get in contact with me, or they want to order something. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all the stickers on the outside first, these ones, and then I will go back through and stick these on the inside of the box. Oh, also, yesterday I was a little bit concerned because I was waiting. If you guys remember, I was a little bit nervous because I had, 76 active subscriptions, and yet I did not have 76 orders come in yesterday. And I was wondering what the discrepancy was between the people that are subscribed as of, the records on my website versus the amount of orders that actually came through. So I did a little digging on my website today, and what I figured out was any of the orders that didn't go through were because of card issue. So whether that card was expired or declined or just some kind of issue with their bank, like one reason or another, any of the orders that didn't come through were because of some kind of payment error. So even though that's not great and it's not ideal, it at least answers my question of like why not all the orders went through. And as of right now, 3 of them have already been resolved and come through today. So that's good. I am going to expect that there will be a few of them that don't get resolved and don't come through, which is unfortunate, but like even just having a few of them get resolved is good, and it makes me feel a little bit less anxious because I understand the reason why. You know what I mean? Before, when I just was like, okay, there's just this kind of handful of orders that just didn't go through and I don't know why, that was stressing me out. But now that I know the reason, so I'm gonna hope that over the next few days, because the nice thing about this app for the subscriptions is that it does automatically send out an email to the individual saying, hey, there was an issue, you know, your payment didn't go through for fill in the blank reason. You know, please fix the error and we'll try again. And it does automatically reattempt with like certain intervals. So that's good because I don't have to go chase everybody down and say, hey, your card didn't work for some reason. It kind of handles that for me. So that's good. And my goal for today is to get these boxes, get the stickers on the boxes, both the thermal print ones on the outside and the welcome prints on the inside, and have all of the elements to go inside the boxes 100% done. I realized there were three of the coaster basket pieces, the wooden pieces, that needed to be redone. There was one that just didn't cut out very nicely and it just didn't look good. There was one that got really warped, and then I was missing one, and I think it's because I used one as a test piece and I thought that I didn't include that in the 100, but maybe I did. So anyway, I'm making the last coaster bottoms. I also made the last couple of bookmarks that I needed to replace those warped ones. And I did order, I don't know if I talked about this in the video the other day, I was missing one stupid tassel for my bookmarks. It was a package of 100 tassels, and so it was the exact amount I needed for 100 boxes, and I was one short. I had 99. So I didn't want to order another package of 100 tassels for the one bookmark that's missing a tassel. But I went ahead and did it because, first of all, I do want to be able to say I put together 100 complete boxes, but also I haven't done a pre-designed collection on my website for a while. I've been very preoccupied with my subscription boxes, but I did decide a while ago that the next themed collection release on my website was going to be book themed and reading themed. So I figured maybe when I do the book themed collection, I will also make those crochet bookmarks available as well as part of the collection. It's just like a fun thing. And then hopefully that will use up some of those extra 99 tassels that I don't probably need for this subscription box. And if I do get stuck with a bunch of leftover tassels, I'm sure we'll find a use for them eventually. It's just always frustrating to have to buy supplies that you don't really need, but you just need like one little bit. Just quickly wanted to show you because we are just about ready to actually start packing these boxes. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Michael and I are gonna have a little order packing date night. He is kind enough to help me with order packing when I've got like a big launch or something. He is always available to help, which is really nice. So I've kind of got everything laid out. Tomorrow we'll bring it out to the living room and we'll probably use the counter in the kitchen and the kitchen table as kind of like a packing zone. But I've got everything organized. These are all of the boxes that I finished packing up, not packing up, but finished putting stickers on just now. So they all have the thermal printer sticker on the outside, and then they also have, of course it's stuck in there, on the outside, and then they also have the welcome print on the inside. So they still obviously need to be put together. That's going to be one of the things that we'll do tomorrow, is put the boxes together. And then everything is in its own little package. I've got the box of all of the yarn packaged up. The pendant cutter, yarn cutter necklaces are in this bag. I've got the bookmarks here, little bags of candy here, my folded faux leather tags here, and the crochet kit here. And that's everything, my friends. Enough to make 100 boxes. There's 25 boxes in each of those.
How was everybody's day? How you guys doing?
We're currently buying 66 shipping labels and we're gonna print them all at once and it's gonna be really satisfying. Let's go. Print documents. Shipping labels. This is the most exciting part. Thermal printer. Here we go. I have it set to pretty slow printing, so this is actually gonna take a while. What do you think, Duncan? Oh. Yeah, I get it.
Jessica from Pennsylvania. Your box is packed and ready to ship. What? Am I not getting notifications? Oh, I'm not getting. No, I'm You know what I think we should listen to?
Your mom?
The soundtrack from Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
Dang it! One of these days. That I need to expand my horizon.
Your horizon ends at elbow.
Amore. Well, now it's time for Lavello. You've awakened the beast. This is Miriam from Ohio. A lot of Ohioans. I guess you guys don't really have anything to do but crochet there, right? Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that.
Wow. That tape dispenser works pretty well, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah, especially when you stick your finger on the sharp parts.
Shut up. That was a pretty good investment though.
Mhm.
I really didn't want to deal with the handheld ones. It would have made it so much more annoying.
Mm-hmm.
This one you don't have to worry about the tape getting stuck back to itself and having to peel it off.
Yep. Oh, look, another Ohioan, Miss Deborah. Your box is packed and ready to ship. Julie from Texas. Packed and ready to ship. I know who I know.
Michael, if you got to pick a theme for Berg Box, what would your theme be?
Godzilla.
Besides Godzilla!
Dang it.
It can't be a proprietary licensed character because that's not allowed.
Oh.
You're like giant lizard dinosaur.
Space fights. Izzy from New Jersey. I apologize if that was offensive. Your box is ready to ship. Packed and ready to ship. This one belongs to the one and only, probably not one and only Daniela from Georgia. But you are the one and only Daniela from Georgia that this box is going to because it's packed and ready to ship.
Okay, it's the next day. We managed to fit all 100 boxes on this kitchen table. The ones with the tape around them are boxes that are actually ready to ship. They have shipping labels. They are spoken for. And then these columns here are the extras that I made that bring us up to 100. So these are boxes that have not been spoken for yet. A few of them I am going to use to send out to influencers in hopes that they will show the box off in a video. And I kind of view that as a investment, taking some of my product and reinvesting it into basically marketing, you know, like it all boils down to marketing. But Michael and I were live for a couple hours last night packing all these boxes. Now, I did not pack these ones yet. It actually took us, like I said, a couple hours to get all of these ones packed and ready to ship. And we would have been going for a long time, and I didn't want to make Michael do it until late into the night. So I told him I would take care of the rest of these tomorrow because I have, you know, like it's my business. So I have the whole work day to work on things such as this. So this is going to be my goal today. I would much rather work in my office because I've got my computer in there and I can, you know, put on a video to watch, whatever. So I'm going to see if I have enough space. The reason I do it out here is it's just, there's a lot more space to kind of set up shop. But if I can make it work in my office, I will make that kind of my packing station. And I like just woke up. I'm still in pajamas, but I have my morning cold brew. And it always hits.
Oh my goodness. Say good morning. Hi. Oh goodness. What do you think? Really?
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the summer Berg Box Quarterly be put together and packed and shipped and everything. I know that I had so much fun. Doing the summer box compared to the spring box was actually a lot less stressful because I learned a ton. The first time around, I was able to have a much more accurate quantity of knowing how many boxes I needed to put together. And I remember feeling at the time, looking at the stack of boxes that I had made that were extra and just thinking, all right, this is a little bit of a step of faith that I've got this big stack of boxes that like don't have a home yet. And my goal is to get rid of all of them before the summer window is over. And I was a little bit fearful that I was gonna be stuck with all these boxes and then what am I gonna do with them? And as of today, I had them all stacked up underneath my yarn wall. They are all gone. And in fact, on my to-do list today while I'm recording this is to make up another one because I now am having subscribers more than I had boxes. So I have to make additional boxes. So it's just been so exciting to watch it grow. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're still here, leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite part of today's video was. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss all of the fun videos that we're gonna do in the future. We're just getting started. And I'm really just excited to share this journey with you guys and doing all those things, liking the video and stuff. It really does help to help me grow and reach more of my crochet friends. So I will see you guys next time and I hope you have a great rest of your day.